Hello students, if you are new to my channel which brings physics at your fingertips, consider subscribing it. Just press the like button and share it with your friends. Today I'll be teaching you the chapter Force and Pressure. Let us consider the definition of force. A force is basically a push or pull on an object which creates motion. There are various effects of force on a body. A force can make a stationary object move, as we see in the lawn mower. A force can change the speed of an object, like the paddling of a cycle increases its speed. A force can change the direction of motion, like kicking a football. A force can change the shape of an object, like the baker changing the shape of a dough. A force can also stop a moving object. When we apply brakes, the vehicle comes to a stop. There are basically two types of forces. Contact force, which only acts when there is direct contact between the two bodies. Example, muscular force and frictional force. Muscles will only exert force when we directly touch the body. Frictional force will only come into action when there is direct contact between the object and the surface on which it moves. In non-contact forces, forces can be applied without any direct touch or contact between them. Example, electrostatic, magnetic, gravitational forces, etc. Electrostatic forces acts between two charged bodies. Like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Magnetic force acts between two magnets or a magnet and magnetic substance. Gravitational force also acts from a distance. Any body falls freely to the ground under the action of gravitational force. Now, if two or more forces act on the same body, what can happen? If the forces act along the same direction, they get added up. If they act in opposite direction, they are subtracted. For example, the two forces F1 and F2 are added and F3 is subtracted from them. So a resultant force of 3 Newton acts on the object. When the resultant is 0, then the forces are said to be balanced forces. And if the resultant is not 0, then the forces are said to be unbalanced forces. A force can be measured by using a spring balance, which is basically a meter to measure the weight of a body. It works on the principle of Hooke's law. Now, Hooke's law tells us that the force acting on an object is directly proportional to the displacement caused in the body. Here, the weight of the object which is hung from the hook, it applies a force on the spring and the spring moves a distance which is measured by the markings on the spring balance. Now, I have given you various extra question and answers on this chapter, Force and Motion. Go through these question answers. They will help you in understanding the chapter much better. Thank you, students.